Most people dream of greatness, but why do so few people achieve it? Laziness, perhaps? And it's not always a lack of talent. Often, the answer lies in the choices people make. Most people settle for being reliable rather than exceptional. They choose predictability over risk, comfort over challenge. It's easier to follow than to lead, to react than to take control. Some aren't given the confidence to lead. Others have the talent but lack the belief that they can rise to the occasion. They've been conditioned to doubt their instincts, to stay in their lane. This isn't about effort, it's about mindset, mentality. It's about the willingness to step into discomfort and own the outcome, no matter what. True greatness isn't about talent alone. It demands something deeper. Discipline when others lose focus, resilience when failure knocks you down, and the courage to embrace responsibility in moments of pure pressure. Talent may open the door, but only relentless preparation and self-belief will keep you in the room. Most people stop at good enough. They convince themselves they've done enough or let circumstances define their limits. They listen to the voice in their head that says, I can't take this anymore, or I'll let someone else do it. It's not laziness, it's the fear of being exposed, or falling, or being judged. The right environment can unlock greatness in anyone, but too often people are trapped in situations where their potential is never realized. The quote that is often attributed to Einstein, however, I heard the other day that he probably never said it himself, but we all know it. Everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. Now, everyone can't be a genius, but the main thing here is that sometimes people are judged by the wrong metrics, given the wrong roles, or never trusted to take the lead. That's why most people hesitate to step into the spotlight. They've never been shown how to thrive under the spotlight. So, the question isn't whether you have what it takes. It is, are you willing to find the right environment, put in the work, and trust yourself to take control? Today, we look at Tim Grover's Good to Great to Unstoppable, which highlights key traits of unstoppable greatness and great individuals. Einstein did actually say, there are only a few enlightened people with a lucid mind and a style and with good taste within a century. What has been preserved of their work belongs among the most precious possessions of mankind. Tim Grover calls these individuals cleaners, the relentless few who dominate their field, not just because of talent, but because of an obsession, because of an obsessive focus on being the best. For cleaners, greatness isn't a goal, it's an obsession, a daily infatuation with perfecting their craft. Grover explains that a cleaner's dominance starts in the mind. It's not just about working hard, it's about working with insane focus, day in and day out, until excellence becomes instinctual. Cleaners don't need external motivation. They don't rely on others to push them forward. Their drive comes from within, a relentless need to master every detail, no matter how small. Psychologist Robert J. Vallerand's research on passion highlights two types, harmonious passion and obsessive passion. Cleaners live in the realm of obsessive passion, not in a negative sense, but in a way that consumes their attention and energy entirely. Their craft becomes their identity, their purpose, and their reason for waking up every day. Grover puts it this way: you can't train your body or excel at anything before you train your mind. You can't commit to excellence until your mind is ready to take you there. Cleaners dominate because they control every aspect of their preparation, their performance, and their mindset. They don't just step up in moments of pressure, they control the moment itself. Grover continues, cleaners don't celebrate what they've done because they're too busy thinking about what they'll do next. Their confidence comes from preparation and their focus is on execution, not applause. This unshakable commitment to their craft is why cleaners aren't just good or even great, they're unstoppable. Cleaners develop complete mastery, built on obsessive focus, relentless preparation, and unshakable belief in their ability to deliver results, no matter the circumstances. It's not for everyone, it's for those willing to commit fully, knowing that dominance comes from doing the work others won't even start. Cleaners are rare by choice, not by chance. Tim Grover identifies 3 archetypes of performance, each representing a different level of mindset, preparation, and execution. These archetypes help us understand why some people rise to the top and others plateau. Coolers, reliable but only in controlled environments. They do what's asked of them and follow instructions, but they shy away from pressure and avoid risk. They thrive on structure and external guidance, but they rarely create opportunities on their own. cooler will always look for someone else to take the lead. They do their job, but nothing more. They stay in their lane. Think of a player who performs well in a regular season but struggles in critical playoff moments. They're dependable, but lack the instinct to take over when it matters most. That's the argument made about someone like maybe Paul George or James Harden. Closers. Closers thrive under pressure and can deliver big results, but only when the situation demands it. They rise to the occasion in key moments, but don't dominate consistently. Closers are reactionary. They wait for the moment to present itself rather than creating it. A closer can deliver the win, but they need the spotlight to feel alive. They thrive on external motivation, like the crowd or the stakes, to bring out their best. A closer might be the player who hits the game-winning shot, but doesn't bring the same intensity to every game. They're reliable in crunch time, but inconsistent over the long haul. Maybe someone like Kyrie Irving. And then there's cleaners, the elite tier. Cleaners dominate consistently, regardless of circumstances, pressure, or recognition. They don't just react to the moment, they control it. They don't need motivation because their drive comes from within. A cleaner doesn't need applause or a crowd. They're working when no one else is watching, so when the pressure's on, it's just another day for them. These are your Michael Jordans, Kobe's, Cristiano Ronaldo, your Messi's, and some people like to argue on this one, but I think LeBron's a cleaner. Grover makes it very clear. Cleaners set the standard, and then they shatter it. They're the ones that everyone looks to in moments of chaos, because they don't just perform under pressure, they create it. They're in control of everything, including themselves. Coolers might shine in controlled environments, and closers can deliver in the spotlight. But cleaners, they own the spotlight, the game, and the results. They make every moment count, whether anyone's watching or not. They're relentless in their preparation, so they don't need to react, they act. Are you a cooler waiting for instructions? A closer stepping up when it's only necessary? Or are you a cleaner taking full control and dominating in every moment, no matter the pressure? Because in Grover's world, there's no in between. You're either stopping at good or going all the way to unstoppable. Becoming a cleaner isn't about one big decision. It's about hundreds of small ones every single day, every hour. It starts with mastering these core traits and embodying the lessons Tim Grover lays out in Relentless. Each one pushes you closer to that elite mindset. Cleaners don't stop when they're ahead, they push harder. While others celebrate wins, cleaners are already preparing for the next challenge. Their hunger isn't driven by a goal, it's driven by an obsession. Grover says it best, you keep pushing yourself harder when everyone else has had enough. Michael Jordan's legendary training sessions after playoff losses. While teammates rested, Jordan was back in the gym, dissecting his game and preparing to dominate. He didn't just want to win, he wanted to make sure no one else had a chance. Cleaners don't wait for motivation, they create it. Their drive is internal, built on discipline, not feelings. You can't train your body or excel at anything before you train your mind. Kobe Bryant's infamous 4 AM workouts, even after a game. His focus wasn't on being better than others, it was on mastering his craft so deeply that greatness became second nature. He didn't need cheerleaders, he needed the grind. Cleaners don't make excuses or look for blame. They take complete ownership of their actions, their results, and their failures. You control your body, it doesn't control you. Jordan's attitude to his teammates, he demanded accountability from everyone, often pushing them beyond their comfort zones. If they didn't match his intensity, they were left behind. To Jordan, excuses were unacceptable, results were all that mattered. The fight with Steve Kerr exemplifies this, when he punched Steve Kerr in the face. For cleaners, results are the only thing that matters. They don't care about drama or obstacles, they care about delivering. Tim Grover said this in regards to training these athletes. When I train my athletes, it's a dictatorship with 3 rules. Show up, work hard, and listen. If you do these 3 things, I can help you. If you can't, we have no use for each other. When it comes to no excuses, let's look no further than Michael Jordan, especially Michael Jordan's famous flu game. When his body was failing him, he still dropped 38 points in a Game 5 of the 1997 NBA Finals. He willed his team to victory and left a legacy that no one could question. Cleaners don't make excuses, they create moments that define them. They don't look for shortcuts, they do the work no one else is willing to do. Absolutely everything in this book can be applied equally to athletics or business or school or anything else you do in the world. Kobe Bryant's work ethic wasn't about talent, it was about sacrifice. He missed vacations, gave up comforts, and prioritized his craft above everything else. Cleaners understand that true greatness demands leaving things behind, sacrificing it all for the craft. Cleaners aren't just focused on their own game. They study the opponents and find weaknesses and attack. Jordan's infamous trash talking wasn't just bravado, it was a strategy. He got into his opponents' heads, exploited their mental weaknesses, and made sure they never felt comfortable on the court. Every cleaner has a dark side, a hidden drive that pushes them beyond societal norms. It's not about being reckless, it's about channeling raw, untamed energy into focused excellence. The dark side is your fuel, your energy. It excites you, keeps you on the edge, recharges you, fills your tank. Tim Grover explains, Tiger Woods at his peak lived in a relentless pursuit of perfection. His dark side, the same force that fueled his dominance, also led to personal struggles. Grover said, with Tiger Woods' personal struggles, to some degree he probably shouldn't have. He don't think he should have apologized because it's part of who he was, it's part of what made him great. Ultimately, Grover warns that cleaners must learn to control their dark side or risk being consumed by it. Cleaners elevate everyone around them, often through sheer force of will. They demand excellence not just from themselves but from the entire team. A cleaner struggles to celebrate. Winning is just never enough. There's always more work to do. Kobe Bryant refusing to accept anything less than a full effort from his teammates. His legendary challenges to Shaquille O'Neal to meet him at his level wasn't just about rivalry, it was about raising the standard for everyone on the team. And then there's willing the team to victory. Cleaners lead by example, taking the weight of the moment onto their shoulders. They don't ask for help, they make others believe. Jordan's 1998 finals where Scottie Pippen injured his back. In that same game, Jordan scored 45 points in 44 minutes to will his team to victory, even though Scottie Pippen had injured himself, making it a difficult task in terms of winning the game. Becoming a cleaner isn't about talent or luck, it's about a choice. It's about living with relentless focus, owning every decision and refusing to settle for anything less than greatness. There is a price to pay, a ferocious grind, a dark side we all have, and the ability to push everyone around you to a higher standard, because that's what it will take to be unstoppable. Why don't more people become cleaners? It's not because they lack talent or opportunity, it's because of the obstacles they allow to define them. These obstacles are universal, but how the very best respond to them determines everything. Most people are paralyzed by the thought of failing. They hesitate, overthink, and avoid risk because they fear what others will say or how they will feel if they come up short. But cleaners see failure differently. To them, failure is just another step towards success. It's a lesson, not a life sentence. Failure is what happens when you decide you failed. Until then, it's just preparation for your next move. Too many people rely on others to push them forward. They need coaches, teammates, or crowds to ignite their drive. But cleaners create their own motivation. Their fire comes from within, a relentless desire to master their craft, whether anyone is watching or not. A cleaner doesn't need a crowd or a clock. Their work is the same in an empty gym as it is in a packed arena. Success starts in the mind. But for many, the mental grind is the hardest part. They let distractions pull them off course. They let emotions dictate their actions. Cleaners, on the other hand, train their minds to stay focused and disciplined, no matter the noise around them. You can't control the uncontrollable, but you can control how you respond. Cleaners don't react, they execute. Everyone has a dark side, the raw, untamed part of themselves that craves dominance and control. But most people suppress it, fearing what it says about them. Cleaners embrace it. They understand that their dark side is fuel for their drive, and they learn to channel it productively. The dark side excites you, recharges you, and keeps you sharp. A cleaner knows how to use it without letting it control them. For many, setbacks become excuses. They blame circumstances, luck, or others for their failures. Cleaners reject this mindset entirely. They own everything, their victories, their failures, and their journey. Cleaners don't waste time with blame or excuses. They adjust, adapt, and keep moving. The greatest enemy of greatness isn't failure, it's comfort. Most people stop when they feel they've done enough. Cleaners never stop. They see success as a beginning, not an end. Winning is addictive, but satisfaction is deadly. A cleaner doesn't celebrate, they're already thinking about the next challenge. Taking responsibility for others is one of the hardest challenges. Many shy away from leadership because it comes with pressure, scrutiny, and risk. Cleaners don't just lead, they demand more from their team than anyone else would. If you want to lead, you have to set the standard and then raise it. Cleaners don't just face challenges, they thrive on them. They turn fear into fuel, setbacks into strategies, and pressure into performance. Cleaners don't look at obstacles as reasons to stop. They see them as opportunities to prove why they're unstoppable. So ultimately, what's holding you back? Is it fear, comfort, excuses? The obstacles are there for everyone, but only cleaners know how to rise above them. The question isn't if you face these challenges, it's how you will respond. It is not everyone that can be a cleaner. The real question you need to ask yourself is, have you found the right environment where you can thrive? where you can obsess over your improvement until greatness isn't just a goal, but a byproduct of your relentless work. Think about the greatest cleaners: Cristiano Ronaldo, LeBron James, Warren Buffett, Steve Jobs. They didn't just work hard, they found their environment, the field, the court, the boardroom that fueled their obsession. Ronaldo at 39 still trains with the same intensity as when he started. Warren Buffett, 90 plus years old, still reads and studies stocks with the curiosity of a young investor. These aren't just habits. They're passion born from environments they love so much they can't stop. Tim Grover says, cleaners don't celebrate. They're already thinking about the next challenge. But to sustain that kind of relentless drive, you have to be in a space that inspires it. There's a saying I heard: a person who loves walking will always walk further than the person who only has a destination. Why? Because they love the process, not just the outcome. This is your challenge. Don't just work hard. Spend time finding your environment. Find the thing that fuels you, where the work feels less like a grind and more like a calling. Because once you find it, the grind becomes unstoppable, and so do you. Becoming a cleaner starts with one decision: to never stop. To push beyond your limits, silence excuses, and embrace the grind. And once you find that place where you can thrive, where every step forward feeds your obsession, you see what it truly means to be unstoppable. This has been another episode of Past Lessons for Future Wins.